Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the market recap for Monday, September the 21st. I'm John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. It's an interesting trading day today, of course. We had a lot of interesting news this morning. Things taking the markets lower. I just looking through some of the comments already here this morning, and so important that this conversation that Level 2 and Tanya are starting to have here. Good afternoon, everyone, by the way. Hello, Level 2, Charles, Tanya, Dag, Nick, and Daryl. Level 2 is saying you left a lot of meat on the bone today, and I think there's a lot of us that are probably thinking and feeling that way. And I think we all feel that way from time to time when we have a good trade on. Maybe we get out of it and it's worth a lot more than we originally thought it was. But I think Tanya says it right on the head here. Yes, but I can trade tomorrow. So, very important to remember that. Just taking a look here into these markets, we didn't really have any eco numbers due out today. We've got some throughout the week, kind of a shorter list of eco numbers this week, of course. But as far as crude oil, we failed to close the gap this morning. There was a valiant effort to, but it just would not close. Technically, I think that put the market lower, as well as some of the economic insecurities or uncertainties that are bleeding into the markets across the board today. The E-mini and the S&Ps, the stocks sink to approximately a 6 to 7 week low. Gold breaks below an important inflection level. If I can get my charts up, we're going to take a look at that. The euro, while still somewhat range bound, hints at a possible test of the low of that range, perhaps coming this week. And the Japanese yen rally takes a little bit of a break today. Big push to the upside was rejected at weekly kickoff high, or above weekly kickoff high, I should say. But it's the first down day we've seen really in about 6 days in the Japanese yen. So a little strength in the dollar today, and look what happens. I'd like to, if I can, get the charts up here. Thought we had them up solid, but I'm going to restart my computers after this, and hopefully we won't have this problem anymore. We're going to take a look here, see if we can't get these charts back up and running. Here we go. And we'll start, as always, with the daily. Now, here we go. Now we've got them. All right, let's get through these. So we were opening lower in the crude oil. A lot of it news related. We'll discuss the news here shortly, but a lot of fears of COVID shutdowns again, mostly in Europe and the UK. But we never know how that's going to go as things continue over here sometimes. So we've got a pretty decent down day. We've taken price back down below $40. We were taking a pretty good look at maybe getting back above that 41.50 to $42 level. Unable to do so. Here's the gap that we were unable to fill this morning. Here's Friday's low of regular trading hour session. Here's our high, unable to close that gap. I think that just brought more sellers into the market and brought us down to our current regular trading hour low of 38.87. We had a pretty decent pullback off of that, about a dollar move back to a previous weekly kickoff level of 39.90, where it sits right now. The E-mini S&Ps, you can see we took this market down to a level we haven't seen probably, so let's say since the end of July. So, we're certainly looking at 6 to 7 weeks since the last time we were down at this level. Pretty decent pullback off that level, if you ask me. It still looks like we're going to be, or at least continue to wrestle with 32.80, which is our current weekly kickoff low. Here it is in the overnight. Here's the overnight, unable to close the gap. We're still working on trying to close that gap. We basically traded down to 32.80 on Friday, unable so far to reach that, but a pretty good pullback here. Pretty decent bounce off of our low, which did kind of occur relatively early at 9:30 bar. These two little bars down here, boy, what nice little opportunities for longs. For those of us who were there and saw how cheap that was, that might have been worth just taking because it was cheap. NASDAQ, again, unable to close or spend much time below its current weekly kickoff high. Remember, the NASDAQ is the strongest of the equities in equity indices. Again, trading back to where it was the end of July, but another nice pullback off those lows. Here's what it looks like on the 30-minute chart. Here's our weekly kickoff low. The market did not really open with a gap. There's one difference between the Nasdaq and the S&Ps. We opened basically in Friday's range, basically taking us back through the value area to value area high from Friday. So the Nasdaq not looking so bad. And remember, traders do have a pretty short memory. Take a look now here. Gold, we're getting our first possible breakout below. This is the first time we've closed below that level in quite some time. The weekly kickoff low is essentially previous all-time high from September 2011. I'm sure many of you remember that. So it looks like we've at least closed the extended trading hours before that. What about the regular trading hours? Looks like we may have an opportunity to use this as resistance in the coming days here, quite possibly. The market really kind of barreling through there, not making the opening range the overnight high made this a little bit tougher trading day, but no close of the gap. We closed below this inflection level. It's going to be an interesting week coming at us for gold. As far as our currencies are concerned, we've got a pretty decent move to the downside today in the euro on some pretty decent volume. Watch the open interest tomorrow. If we added a bunch of open interest, I'm going to say that a test of our weekly kickoff low that has remained there for quite some time, 94.30, it could be a 1790, not 94.30, and we've lost our charts. Well, let me bring those back up real quick here. I do apologize. I'm going to have to get a good restart going here. And we are back. So if we've added a whole bunch of open interest on this downside move, I would say that would improve the probability of us testing down to this weekly kickoff low, which is 117.90. Forgive me. And then for our yen, DCN, we took a pretty good stab at holding up above our weekly kickoff high here. This weekly kickoff high, basically this swing high here, unable to hold above it. Taking a look at the 30-minute, pretty good pullback. But when you look at the way this market has been really just stepping higher and stepping higher and stepping higher, it almost looked like it needed a pullback. Perhaps we got a little bit too long for this market to continue to the move to the upside. We've got a B-shaped profile here, which is indicative of long liquidation. Should take some selling power out of the marketplace. Be another interesting day to see how this market opens tomorrow. If we open above value, we'll look for rejection of yesterday's value and perhaps see value continuing to move higher. Quite possibly. Nobody knows for sure. That's the one thing about trading is ambiguous. Nobody really knows the outcome of any particular market at any particular time. It's one of the things that keeps me coming back. It's almost like playing golf. You know, I'm not much of a golfer, but at least 2 or 3 times around, I'll get, a good shot, and that's about enough to keep me coming back. So we've got 4 more days with which to continue to profit for the week. Again, hopefully you had a good trading day today. I was looking at the news a little bit here. Lots of talk about a lot of traders taking a risk off. Look at things here with possible new lockdowns looming, particularly in Europe and Britain, and perhaps in the United States. Plus, the inability for financial stimulus, which would probably support millions of unemployed, which we've had no stimulus for quite some time. Many people are suffering. I really wish that our government would get off its bottom and do something about that. 6 months after the CARES Act, and a lot of people are struggling. No new stimulus on the horizon. Come on, guys, let's get this. Listen to this. The CDC says it erroneously posted guidance that coronavirus travels beyond 6 feet. This is a pretty big mistake there. Also in the news today, Biden's potential capital gains tax hike may spark a big sell-off in stocks. Who knows? We lost about 700 or 800 today in the Dow. Probably nothing to do with that. This day in history, interesting. Today is the day in 1780 that Benedict Arnold commits treason. This day in 1780. Nothing else too interesting on this site, but I did find something kind of interesting here. It's Bill Murray's birthday today. One of my favorite comedic actors, one of the original cast of Saturday Night Live, Bill Murray. It's also Faith Hill's birthday. She's 53. I wish I looked that good when I was 53. Oh, wait, am I 50? No, yeah, I'm not 53 anymore. What else do we have here? And that's really about it. That's about it. So, kind of a brief recap today. We've got lots going on the rest of the week. Just to take a look at the important eco numbers due out for the rest of the week. Let me pull this up so we can get a little bit of a review here. We do have two talking feds speaking at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central today. But tomorrow we have existing home sales 9 o'clock. We have Jerome Powell speaking at 9:30. He's also speaking on Wednesday at 9 o'clock and Thursday at 9 o'clock. But we also have the PMI composite flash on Wednesday at 8:45. New home sales and jobless claims due out on Thursday. Jobless claims, as always, 7:30 Thursday, 9 o'clock new home sales on Thursday, and the durable goods orders. To round up the week here on Friday, we have different Fed speakers throughout the rest of the week. Of course, the most important one is going to be Jerome Powell. So that's it. I'm going to take off. Have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow here. And let's get on the right side and make some money this week. Trade well. If you're trading tonight, make sure you keep some of that powder dry for the possible opportunities tomorrow. As Tanya so gracefully stated, but I can trade tomorrow. Always trade for tomorrow. Trade well, everyone, and we will